Lyra's new role as the leader of Zelora brought both excitement and many responsibilities. Kevin remained close, providing steady support as they prepared to officially take on their duties. Their wedding was set to be a beautiful celebration, symbolizing the unity between Earth and Zelora. However, not everyone felt happy about the changes. Some people from Zelora, who had followed General Thane's ideas, quietly expressed doubts about Lyra's leadership. Rumors of unhappiness and rebellion began spreading once more. Kevin and Lyra both knew they had to handle these issues carefully to maintain peace. One evening, Lyra and Kevin attended an important gathering with leaders from Earth and Zelora. The atmosphere was pleasant, filled with friendly conversation and hope. Lyra moved gracefully among the guests, speaking kindly and confidently. Kevin watched her proudly, admiring how naturally she had grown into her new role. Suddenly, an urgent message arrived, interrupting the celebration. General Thane had escaped custody and was organizing a rebellion on a distant Xyloran moon. Fear and uncertainty quickly spread among the guests. Lyra calmly stepped forward, her voice steady. "Please remain calm. We will handle this situation peacefully and firmly." Kevin immediately stood beside her, offering quiet reassurance. Together, they quickly formed a plan. Lyra would lead a diplomatic team to the moon to speak directly with the rebels, hoping to resolve the matter peacefully once again. Days later, Lyra, Kevin, and a small group of representatives arrived on the moon. The place was quiet and cold, far from the warmth and beauty of their home. As they approached the rebel base, Lyra remained calm but alert. General Thane appeared, looking angry and defiant. "You should have known peace wouldn't last." He sneered at Lyra. "Your weakness invites rebellion." Lyra looked at him calmly, her voice gentle yet firm. "Peace is strength, Thane. Your path only leads to suffering. I urge you to reconsider." Thane shook his head stubbornly, refusing her plea. "Xylora needs strength, not your pathetic ideas of peace. I will fight until our true strength is restored." Kevin stepped forward quietly, supporting Lyra. "General, strength means protecting people, not causing more pain. Lyra offers a better way. Give peace a real chance." Thane scoffed angrily, clearly unconvinced. Suddenly, his followers stepped forward aggressively, surrounding Lyra and her team. The situation became tense and dangerous. Lyra took a deep breath, deciding she must show her power to protect those around her. With a calm and confident movement, she raised her hands. A gentle, powerful energy surrounded them, pushing back the rebels without causing harm. The rebels stared in shock and awe, clearly uncertain. Lyra spoke firmly but gently. "You see, true strength doesn't harm, it protects. Join me and help build a future of peace, not violence." Several rebels hesitated, clearly moved by Lyra's power and sincerity. One rebel stepped forward slowly, his voice uncertain. "Perhaps there is truth in your words, Princess Lyra. Perhaps peace can work." Seeing their hesitation, Thane became desperate. He lunged toward Lyra, anger clouding his judgment. Kevin swiftly stepped in front of her, protecting her bravely. Lyra, however, quickly acted, stopping Thane with her gentle but powerful energy. Thane fell back, stunned and defeated. Lyra spoke softly but clearly. "It's time to let go of hatred, Thane. Together, we can build something better for our people." Thane, now weakened and unsure, finally sighed and nodded. "Perhaps you're right. Perhaps peace deserves a true chance." Lyra extended her hand kindly, helping Thane to stand. The rebels around them, seeing their leader surrender, also lowered their weapons. Relief spread through the group, tension fading quickly. Kevin moved to Lyra's side, gently squeezing her hand. "You did it, Lyra," he whispered proudly. "You showed them another way." Lyra smiled softly, exhausted but deeply relieved. "We did it together, Kevin. Your support gives me strength." Returning home, Lyra and Kevin found their victory celebrated by everyone. News of their peaceful success quickly spread, reinforcing hope and trust between Earth and ZYL or Dot As their wedding day approached, excitement grew. People from both worlds prepared eagerly, seeing their union as a strong symbol of peace. Lyra felt overwhelmed at times, but was comforted by Kevin's steady and loving presence. On their wedding day, the ceremony was beautiful and joyful. Lyra and Kevin exchanged heartfelt vows, promising to support each other always. Friends, family, and leaders from Earth and Zilora cheered warmly. Deeply moved by their love and commitment. At the end of the day, Lyra and Kevin stood quietly together, enjoying a peaceful moment alone. Kevin looked deeply into Lyra's eyes, smiling warmly. "We've come so far, Lyra. I'm so proud to be by your side," he said gently. Lyra smiled back warmly, deeply happy. "I couldn't have done this without you, Kevin. Your belief in me helped me find my true strength." Together, they looked forward to a bright future, confident their love and unity would help maintain peace and prosperity between their two worlds. The challenges they faced had brought them closer together, strengthening their bond and giving them the courage to face whatever lay ahead. After the tense confrontation with General Fane, life slowly returned to normal for Lyra and Kevin. Peace seemed stronger now, and Lyra felt relief and happiness each day she woke up to calm skies and smiling faces. The people of Earth and Zilora grew closer, learning to trust and respect each other more deeply. Lyra remained busy, helping leaders from both worlds build stronger connections. She spoke at gatherings, always promoting understanding and compassion. Kevin stayed by her side, providing quiet support and encouragement. Their friendship had grown deeply, now blossoming into genuine love and care. One peaceful afternoon, Kevin took Lyra to a beautiful meadow just outside their small town. Flowers of many colors bloomed all around, and soft sunshine warmed their faces. It was a quiet place, perfect for thoughtful conversations. Lyra looked around happily, breathing deeply. "It's beautiful here," she said softly, smiling warmly at Kevin. Kevin smiled back, gently taking her hand. "I'm glad you like it. I wanted a special place to talk with you about something important." Lyra looked at him curiously, sensing his nervousness. "What is it, Kevin?" she asked softly. Taking a deep breath, Kevin spoke honestly. "Lyra, our time together has been the best in my life. I've seen you grow and become strong, brave, and compassionate. You inspire me every day." Lyra blushed softly, deeply touched by his words. "You've done so much for me, Kevin. I could never have found my strength without your kindness and support," she replied gently. Kevin squeezed her hand warmly. "You had that strength inside you all along. I just saw it clearly and believed in you. Now I have a question to ask." Lyra nodded slowly, her heart beating fast. "Ask me," she whispered softly. Kevin looked deeply into her eyes, sincerity shining clearly. "Lyra, will you marry me?" Surprise and happiness filled Lyra's face. Tears of joy appeared in her eyes as she smiled warmly. "Yes, Kevin, I would be honored to marry you," she answered sincerely. Kevin smiled broadly, deeply relieved and joyful. He embraced her gently, holding her close. They spent the afternoon sharing dreams of their future, excited about building their lives together. News of their engagement quickly spread throughout both Earth and Zilora, causing much celebration. People saw their union as a symbol of peace and unity. Leaders from both worlds praised the couple, excited about this new chapter in their shared history. Preparations for the wedding soon began, with friends and neighbors eagerly helping. Lyra felt overwhelmed by their kindness, grateful for the love surrounding them. Kevin stood by her side through every step, reassuring her when she felt anxious. One evening, as they sat quietly at home discussing wedding plans, a message arrived. From Zilora, Lyra's father, King Zoran, requested her presence immediately. Anxiety filled Lyra's heart as she read the message. Kevin noticed her worry, gently taking her hand. "What's wrong, Lyra?" he asked softly. "My father wants to see me. I don't know why," she explained quietly, worry clear in her voice. Kevin squeezed her hand reassuringly. "We'll face it together. You're not alone." Lyra nodded, comforted by his calm presence. Together they traveled to Xylora, curious but cautious. Upon their arrival, Lyra and Kevin were greeted warmly by the Xyloran people. They respected Lyra deeply now, understanding her true worth and strength. The couple walked confidently through the royal halls, finally reaching King Zoran's chamber. King Zoran stood calmly, his expression serious yet gentle. Lyra, Kevin, thank you for coming. I wanted to speak with you directly, he began kindly. Lyra nodded respectfully. What is it, father? She asked softly. The king sighed deeply, looking at his daughter with pride and sadness. I must step down as king. It is time for someone younger and wiser to lead our people. Lyra gasped softly, eyes wide with surprise. Father, you can't mean— King Zoran nodded firmly. Yes, Lyra. I want you to take my place. You've shown wisdom, strength, and compassion. Our people need your guidance. Lyra hesitated, unsure and overwhelmed. Kevin gently placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder, offering quiet support. Father, are you certain? Lyra asked softly. I've only wanted peace, not power. King Zoran smiled gently. That's exactly why you must lead. Your humility and kindness make you perfect for this role. Lyra looked at Kevin uncertainly. Kevin smiled warmly, nodding encouragingly. Lyra, your father is right. You're the perfect choice. Your heart and strength have already brought peace. Imagine how much more good you can do. Lyra considered their words carefully, realizing the truth. With a deep breath, she looked at her father firmly. I will do it, Father. I will lead our people and continue striving for peace and unity. King Zoran smiled proudly, embracing his daughter warmly. I know you will, Lyra. I'm so proud of you. Kevin stood by quietly, watching with admiration. He knew Lyra's life had changed dramatically since their first meeting, and he felt honored to share this journey with her. Lyra and Kevin returned home, aware of their new responsibilities. Despite her initial fears, Lyra felt confident with Kevin's unwavering support. Together, they prepared themselves to face new challenges, confident their love and strength would guide them through any difficulty ahead. As the threat of rebellion spread, tension returned to the peaceful lives of Lyra and Kevin. Lyra knew she had a great responsibility, and she spent much time meeting with Earth's leaders and strategists. She remained firm about one thing: war should always be the last choice. Kevin stood by her side, supporting her at every step. One afternoon, Lyra received urgent news. Rebels from Xylora had openly challenged Earth's representatives, demanding Lyra's immediate return to her home world. They claimed she had betrayed her people by siding with humans. If Earth refused, they threatened to attack, reigniting the war. Lyra listened to the news calmly, though sadness filled her heart. Kevin, sensing her distress, took her hand gently. You don't have to face this alone, Lyra. We will find a peaceful solution, he reassured softly. Lyra nodded, grateful for his support. I cannot allow another war to happen, Kevin. Too many lives have been lost already. She quickly arranged a meeting with Earth's military leaders. Everyone knew the seriousness of the situation. Lyra spoke clearly and decisively, outlining her plan to meet with the Xyloran rebels directly. Kevin and others expressed concern, but Lyra remained firm. I must try. They need to understand peace is better for everyone, she said earnestly. Seeing her determination, the leaders agreed. However, they insisted that Lyra would not go alone. Kevin immediately volunteered to accompany her, his voice firm with resolve. A few days later, Lyra and Kevin traveled to a neutral location agreed upon by both sides. They waited patiently, the atmosphere heavy with tension. Soon, a small ship landed nearby, and a group of Xyloran rebels approached. Lyra recognized their leader immediately. His name was General Thane, known for his harsh views and aggressive nature. Thane approached boldly, his eyes full of anger. You have disgraced us all, Lyra, he accused harshly. Siding with these humans, betraying your own blood. You must return and answer for your actions. Lyra stood calmly, her voice steady. I have betrayed no one, Thane. I chose peace, hoping to save lives on both sides. Thane scoffed, dismissing her words. Your actions have weakened Zelora. You will return, willingly or by force. Kevin stepped forward protectively, his voice calm but strong. Lyra chose freely, General. She seeks peace for everyone, including your people. Thane glared at Kevin, unimpressed. Humans understand nothing about strength or honor. Lyra must return. Otherwise, we will take her. By force. Lyra, sensing tension rising dangerously, decided to reveal her hidden powers clearly. With a calm breath, she raised her hands gently. Bright, gentle light surrounded her, an undeniable display of her strength. Everyone watched in awe, including General Thane. I have hidden my powers to protect peace, Lyra explained gently. My family's lineage is powerful, yes, but power must be used wisely, not for war. Thane hesitated, clearly surprised by her display. Lyra continued softly but firmly, appealing directly to the rebels. Returning to war brings only pain and loss. Many of us have already lost friends and family. Is it not better to live in peace, to build rather than destroy? Her words reached many of the rebels, some showing uncertainty and confusion. Thane, however, remained defiant. You may have powers, but you lack the heart of a true Xyloran warrior. Peace makes us weak, Thane argued stubbornly. Kevin shook his head gently, speaking up once again. True strength comes from protecting lives, not taking them. Lyra shows strength by choosing peace, even when it's difficult. Lyra looked at Kevin gratefully, gaining courage from his words. She turned back to Thane, her voice gentle yet strong. Listen to your hearts. You know war will only bring more suffering. Give peace a chance. Allow our people to heal and grow stronger through unity, not conflict. She urged sincerely. A long silence followed her plea. Many rebels glanced at each other uncertainly, clearly moved by Lyra's words and peaceful strength. Finally, one of Thane's officers stepped forward cautiously. Princess Lyra speaks truth. We have all lost enough. Perhaps peace deserves a chance, he said quietly but firmly. Thane stared angrily, but saw agreement forming among his followers. Realizing he was outnumbered, he grudgingly stepped back. Very well, Thane growled reluctantly. We will give your peace a chance. But if it fails, you will answer for it, Lyra. Lyra nodded calmly, relief filling her heart. Thank you, General. Peace will benefit everyone, you'll see. The rebels withdrew slowly, leaving Lyra and Kevin alone. Kevin turned to her, pride shining in his eyes. You did it, Lyra. You convinced them to try peace, he praised warmly. Lyra sighed softly, smiling gently. Only because you were by my side, giving me strength, she replied sincerely. Together, they returned home, hopeful for the future. News of Lyra's success spread quickly, bringing joy and relief to everyone. Leaders from Earth and Zelora praised her bravery and wisdom, recognizing her crucial role in maintaining peace. Despite the victory, Lyra knew peace required constant care and effort. She remained vigilant, always ready to protect the fragile peace she cherished. Kevin stayed close, offering his unwavering support and love. Their bond grew stronger each day, deepening their understanding and care for each other. Together, they faced challenges bravely, confident that their unity and kindness will continue guiding them toward lasting peace and happiness. After the attack on the colony, life changed significantly for Lyra and Kevin. News of Lyra's hidden powers quickly spread throughout the town and beyond. People who had previously ignored or mocked her now showed deep respect and admiration. Lyra accepted the attention humbly, always remaining gentle and approachable. Kevin watched with quiet pride as Lyra interacted with others. He admired how she remained kind and humble despite newfound respect. Lyra, in turn, appreciated Kevin's steady support, and constant companionship. Together, they became a strong team. Trusted by the entire community, word of Lyra's power soon reached important leaders and generals. They became curious about this mysterious alien princess who had chosen to hide her true abilities. One day, a group of human military officials arrived at their home, requesting a meeting with Lyra. Kevin stayed close as Lyra spoke calmly with the officials. They asked many questions, interested in her powers and their origin. Lyra explained honestly, describing her family's ancient lineage. Her ancestors possessed incredible abilities, making them powerful and respected. But over generations, this power had led to conflicts and war. Lyra had chosen to hide her abilities to prevent further violence. The officials listened carefully, impressed by her wisdom and peaceful intentions. They invited Lyra and Kevin to a major conference scheduled to discuss lasting peace between Earth and Xylora. Both Kevin and Lyra agreed, realizing the importance of their roles in securing a better future. Preparations for the conference began quickly. Lyra spent hours carefully preparing her speech, wanting every word to promote peace and understanding. Kevin helped her patiently, encouraging and guiding her whenever doubts surfaced. As the conference day approached, Lyra became nervous. She feared rejection or misunderstanding. Sensing her anxiety, Kevin reassured her gently. "You have nothing to fear, Lyra. Just speak from your heart. Your honesty and kindness will shine through," Kevin said warmly. Lyra smiled softly, comforted by his support. "Thank you, Kevin. I couldn't do this without you," she whispered quietly. On the day of the conference, representatives from Earth and Xylora gathered in a large hall filled with anticipation. Lyra stood calmly, dressed simply yet gracefully. Her heart beat quickly as she faced the crowd, but she remained determined. When it was her turn to speak, Lyra stepped forward confidently. Her gentle voice filled the hall, clearly expressing her desire for peace and cooperation between their two worlds. She spoke about the pain caused by war and the importance of understanding and kindness. As she spoke, the audience listened attentively, deeply moved by her words. Kevin watched proudly, realizing how much Lyra had grown since their first meeting. He admired her courage and sincerity, feeling deeply grateful to have chosen her. After her speech, applause filled the hall. People from both sides stood, deeply touched by Lyra's heartfelt words. Representatives from Xylora, initially doubtful of Lyra's abilities, now showed deep respect and admiration for her bravery and wisdom. Following the conference, Lyra and Kevin were invited to many gatherings and events. People sought Lyra's guidance, recognizing her as a symbol of peace and wisdom. Yet despite her popularity, Lyra always remained close to Kevin, depending on his quiet support and understanding. One peaceful evening, as they sat quietly together, watching the sunset, Lyra expressed her feelings openly. "You've helped me find myself, Kevin. Without your kindness, I might never have had the courage to show who I truly am," she said gently. Kevin smiled warmly, deeply touched by her words. "You've always had the strength, Lyra. You just needed someone to see it clearly and encourage you," he replied softly. They sat in comfortable silence, appreciating their quiet bond. Both knew that their relationship had deepened far beyond friendship. Their understanding and respect for each other had grown into genuine care and affection. As time went on, peace between Earth and Xylora became stronger. Lyra continued working closely with leaders from both worlds, always emphasizing unity and compassion. Her gentle influence helped heal past wounds and misunderstandings. However, Lyra knew that not everyone supported peace. Remnants of resistance remained hidden, watching and waiting for opportunities to cause trouble. Lyra remained cautious, knowing the importance of staying vigilant. One evening, while Lyra and Kevin attended a peaceful gathering, disturbing news arrived. Rebels from Xylora, angry about the peace treaty and Lyra's role in it, had begun planning another attack. Fear and uncertainty filled the community again. Lyra felt deep sadness, realizing that peace remained fragile. Kevin stayed close, offering comfort and reassurance. He gently reminded her of her inner strength. Your kindness and wisdom have already made a difference. Lyra, you can guide us through this challenge as well, Kevin said confidently. Lyra nodded, determined to face this new threat bravely. She knew her role had become crucial in maintaining peace. With Kevin's unwavering support, she prepared herself once more to confront whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing she no longer had to hide who she truly was. Life on Earth began quietly for Lyra. Kevin had brought her to his modest home on the edge of a small town. It was simple and cozy, far different from the grand palaces she had known on Zilora. But Lyra found comfort in its warmth and simplicity. Each day brought something new for her to learn about human life, and Kevin guided her patiently. In the mornings, Kevin would rise early and prepare breakfast. Lyra observed him quietly at first, noting his kindness and simple routine. Eventually, she started to join him, slowly becoming comfortable with the strange foods and ways of human life. They shared simple conversations, speaking about their worlds and experiences. Despite Kevin's gentle care, Lyra remained cautious. She often sat alone near a window, staring outside and thinking deeply. Kevin sensed her loneliness but knew not to rush her. Instead, he respected her space, allowing her to become comfortable at her own pace. One afternoon, Kevin invited Lyra to walk with him around the town. She hesitated at first, but then nodded shyly, agreeing to join him. Together, they walked down quiet streets lined with houses and gardens. People looked at Lyra curiously, whispering softly as they passed. Lyra tried to ignore them, her eyes focused nervously on the ground. Kevin gently took her hand, giving her comfort. Ignore them, he whispered softly. You have nothing to fear. I'm here with you. Lyra squeezed his hand slightly, feeling safer by his side. They reached the market area, filled with colors, noises, and people. It was unlike anything Lyra had ever seen. Her eyes widened as she took in the vibrant atmosphere. Kevin noticed her amazement and smiled warmly. See something you like? He asked softly. Lyra paused, looking at colorful fruits she had never seen before. Kevin bought a small basket of them, carefully handing it to her. Lyra held the basket gently, grateful for his kindness. Days turned into weeks, and Lyra gradually became more comfortable in her new home. Her gentle nature and quiet wisdom soon attracted attention in the small town. People who initially avoided her began to greet her warmly, appreciating her humble and thoughtful presence. One evening, as they shared dinner, Kevin gently asked about Lyra's life on Zilora. Tell me more about your home, he encouraged. Kindly, Lyra hesitated but then began to speak softly. She described the majestic palaces, beautiful gardens, and powerful warriors. Yet, her voice carried sadness as she explained how she had always felt overlooked and undervalued compared to her sisters. I was never important enough, she whispered, eyes downcast. Kevin shook his head gently, his voice firm but gentle. You're important here, Lyra. To me, you're special and valuable. Never forget that. Lyra felt warmth fill her heart at his words, giving a small, grateful smile. They continued talking quietly, their conversation growing deeper and more honest. One day, an emergency alert suddenly sounded in town. People rushed around, fearful and confused. Kevin quickly learned that a nearby human colony was under attack by rogue aliens refusing peace. Soldiers were gathering to defend the colony. Kevin looked worried but determined. I must go, he told Lyra gently. They need help. Stay here. You'll be safe. Lyra nodded slowly, worry shining in her eyes. Please come back safe, she whispered softly. I promise, Kevin replied firmly. He gave her a reassuring smile before leaving quickly. Lyra waited anxiously at home, restless and fearful. Hours passed slowly. Unable to remain idle, she stepped outside, looking toward the colony's direction. Suddenly, she felt a strange, powerful urge within her. It was familiar but frightening. She closed her eyes, breathing deeply, and allowed herself to follow the feeling. Power surged inside her, a hidden strength she had long buried. Without fully understanding her actions, Lyra started moving swiftly toward the colony. When Lyra reached the colony, she saw chaos and destruction everywhere. Kevin and the other soldiers were bravely fighting but clearly overwhelmed. Lyra hesitated only briefly before stepping forward. Power surged from her fingertips, forming an invisible shield around the soldiers. Kevin looked up, surprised and amazed, recognizing Lyra's hidden strength. With calm focus, Lyra guided her powers gently, protecting everyone and pushing back the attackers effortlessly. Her hidden abilities astonished both humans and the attacking aliens, who retreated quickly, recognizing her power. When it was over, Kevin approached Lyra slowly, awe and admiration in his eyes. "You saved us all," he whispered softly. Lyra looked away shyly, uncertain. I didn't want to lose you," she admitted quietly. Kevin gently took her hand, smiling warmly. "You're incredible, Lyra. You're stronger and braver than anyone I've ever known." "I always knew there was more to you." Lyra felt warmth spread through her chest, finally understanding her worth. She had hidden her true self for so long, afraid of being rejected or exploited. But Kevin's acceptance and kindness had allowed her to reveal her strength safely. Together, they walked back home, knowing their bond had become stronger and deeper. From that day forward, Lyra embraced her new life fully, confident and strong, grateful to Kevin for choosing her and seeing her true worth long before anyone else. The war between Earth and Zalor had lasted many years. Battles had been fought in space and on distant planets. Both sides had suffered great losses, and everyone longed for peace. Finally, after much negotiation, a truce was agreed upon. To mark the end of the fighting, there was to be a grand ceremony on the neutral planet of Arden. Human soldiers lined up proudly, wearing clean uniforms and standing tall. They had been through many hardships and now looked forward to returning home. Opposite them stood the Xyloran royalty, dressed in shining robes and displaying their wealth and power. Among them were the Xyloran princesses, known for their beauty and grace. But one stood apart from her sisters. Her name was Lyra. Lyra was different. She did not have the bright colors or elegant features of her sisters. Her eyes were soft gray, her skin dull and unadorned, and her hair a quiet shade of brown. While her sisters shone like stars, Lyra remained quiet, unnoticed by most who saw her. She stood with her eyes lowered, hands folded, accepting that she was considered plain and unworthy by her own people. As a sign of peace, the human heroes were invited to choose rewards from the royal family. Soldiers stepped forward, selecting jewels, weapons, or beautiful artifacts. Finally, it was Kevin's turn. Kevin was not famous or high-ranking. He was a simple soldier who had fought bravely and had a kind heart. He stepped forward and glanced across the line of princesses. His eyes paused on Lyra, the quiet princess who seemed ignored by all others. He saw sadness in her quiet stance and gentle expression. Without hesitation, Kevin made his choice clear. "I choose Princess Lyra," he said calmly. Everyone fell. Silent. Surprise filled the air. Soldiers and Xylorans alike looked shocked and puzzled. Some of Kevin's friends even laughed quietly, thinking he was joking. But Kevin stood firm, his choice made. Lyra looked up in surprise, meeting Kevin's gaze briefly before quickly lowering her eyes again. Her sisters whispered harshly, mocking her quietly. Her father, King Zoran, seemed uncertain but finally nodded. "It is decided," the king announced. "Soldier Kevin has chosen Princess Lyra." After the ceremony, Kevin approached Lyra carefully. He spoke softly, trying to reassure her. "Hello, Princess Lyra. My name is Kevin. I am honored to meet you," he said kindly. Lyra raised her head slowly, uncertainly. Her eyes were gentle but cautious. "Thank you," she replied softly. "But why did you choose me?" Kevin smiled gently, sensing her fear. "Because I saw kindness in you. And because every person deserves respect and care," he replied simply. Lyra said nothing but gave a faint smile. Together, they moved toward the spaceship that would take them back to Earth. Kevin noticed Lyra's nervousness and quietly reassured her. "Don't worry," he whispered. "No one will hurt you. You're safe now." Lyra nodded slowly, beginning to relax in Kevin's calm presence. During the journey back to Earth, Lyra kept her distance, not speaking much. Kevin respected her silence, giving her time and space to become comfortable. Days passed, and slowly Lyra began to open up. She spoke gently, sharing simple details about life on Zelora. Kevin listened with patience and curiosity, fascinated by her descriptions of her world. He realized that although Lyra appeared quiet and shy, she was also thoughtful and wise beyond her years. One evening, as they sat together watching stars through the spaceship window, Lyra finally spoke freely. "I never expected someone would choose me," she said softly. "My own people think I'm worthless. They say I am not beautiful or powerful." Kevin shook his head gently. "They don't see clearly. True beauty isn't only outside. Real strength is in your heart and mind." Lyra smiled softly, touched by his words. "You're kind, Kevin. Very kind." He smiled back, sensing the first threads of trust forming between them. When they reached Earth, many gathered to welcome the returning heroes. Crowds cheered as soldiers stepped off the spaceship, greeted by their families and friends. But when Kevin appeared with Lyra, whispers filled the air. Some laughed quietly, others shook their heads, clearly confused by Kevin's choice. Kevin ignored them, standing proudly beside Lyra, offering her comfort with his calm presence. Lyra remained quiet but held her head up, determined to face this new world bravely. Together, they walked toward their new life, unaware that their simple beginning would soon lead to discoveries neither of them could imagine.